Welcome to Techstination, your destination for gadgets and gear. Here's Fred Fishkin.
The new Fathom from Ford, an all-electric midsize truck. With us from Ford is General Manager of Model E US, Mark Dipko. Hi, Mark.
Hi, good to see you.
Great to meet you. And Ford is really focused on affordability, it seems, with this new all-electric truck. Tell us about that. I guess that's the biggest headline here.
Yeah, we started from the beginning knowing that in order for the electric vehicle market to grow, we really needed to bring products in that were affordable and attainable for the masses, and that was really our focus from the very start for the universal electric vehicle platform, and for this first vehicle off of it, which is the Fathom.
Well, tell us a bit about what you've announced on the pricing.
Yeah, starting at 28,350 MSRP for the standard range battery. When so really hit that target of getting it under $30,000. And we're not talking about a stripped vehicle here. We're talking about a really fully featured vehicle that's focused more on delivering value than it is taking away features just to hit that price point.
Tell me about the platform, this new platform that Ford is using.
Yeah, it's an all-new ground-up vehicle platform, as I mentioned, designed specifically to be an electric vehicle. So it takes advantage of all the latest construction techniques, unicastings, and our new assembly tree process. From the very beginning, everything was there to optimize it to be an electric vehicle, to take costs out where they weren't needed or visible to the customer, to be able to deliver the core functionality, a great platform, but also being able to add those features in that we knew customers, would want and desire.
So Ford has taken lessons learned from the Mustang Mach-E and the F-150 Lightning and gone back to the drawing board.
Exactly. I think those initial Gen 1 platforms, we learned a ton, and there's no replacement for having that experience. But we also learned that those platforms that were based on you know, ICE platforms to begin with had inherent costs, and that structure, right? When the battery is so much of an expense in terms of the overall BOM cost, you need to find other ways of taking cost out of the vehicle. And that's the big learnings that were applied to UEV.
And from a buyer's perspective here, if they're going to go out and buy a pickup, a mid-sized pickup or whatever size pickup, I suppose, they want it to perform what they would get from an ICE vehicle as well. And are they going to be happy with what you've got here?
I think they're going to be more than happy. We focused really on, making sure we understood the customer, their needs and use cases. And again, this wasn't about taking away. This was about making sure that we delivered a product that delivered on what the customers were needing. And that includes the capabilities and doing everything that a mid-sized truck would be expected to do.
Well, tell us about some of the technology in here. Those are some of the things that you've announced.
Yeah, so some of the things that are really important for us, and I can only talk about some of them that are out there, but as I mentioned, the first vehicle on our universal electric vehicle platform, it will have Blue Cruise as standard. So every vehicle will come equipped for Blue Cruise, which is our hands-free highway driving, high resolution, large touchscreen display, digital key. It has integrated Apple Maps. It'll also have CarPlay and Android Auto. So a lot of those features that customers are looking for in their vehicles, and a lot more to come that we can talk about. The other thing that's really big is bidirectional charging power is standard. So when you think about that from a customer perspective in terms of being able to manage their overall total cost of ownership, that bidirectional charging capability is something that we're also really happy to be able to bring, particularly at this price point.
And some folks may not understand what that means. That allows people to plug the vehicle into their homes, power their homes in an emergency, that kind of thing.
Exactly, as well as other, use cases of grid management and, actually, treating the vehicle as part of their overall energy solution. So a lot more to be announced there, but we've announced the vehicle has that capability, and there'll be a lot more to come in terms of how that will actually be offered.
Making use of that big battery that's in there, right?
Exactly.
Tell me about the name. I understand quite a bit went into this, Fathom.
Yeah. I guess we'll start with a definition, right? It quite literally means outstretched arms. And it was used, as an Old English term to measure depth. But of course, over time, it became used to really more about like getting to the bottom of something, right? So that's the definition. And, a good name works on many levels. So definitionally, how we looked at it was, when you think about our customer, like we approached it more from a customer lens. Our customers are the type of people, we call them urban adapters. They're the type of people that say yes to everything, every activity, every hobby. They love to do it. They lead really busy lives. They wouldn't have it any other way. So the name really fit this idea that the product could deliver whatever the customer could fathom now and into the future. And that became our internal, mantra as we were developing the product is, to bring it to life, we needed to reach this new depth of innovation. We needed to fathom possibilities that weren't considered before. And as I said, it works on many levels. It also just sounds cool and it fits with Ford's, using F in trucks and as a naming convention. So all these different levels kind of all work together for us. And we really thought we kind of, hit a home run with it. And I think what you'll see over time is there is a lot more to come that will really build this out even more, and you'll see the deeper meaning of the word fathom.
And before people start leaving me messages saying, hey, how come we're not seeing the vehicle? You're not letting us see it yet, right?
Correct, correct. I think in a lot of ways this is so different and such a big change for us that we've kind of built the story through, announcements at our LAP assembly plant and really talking about the platform and all the innovation that have gone into it. And this is the first product. And so, it's not coming until, August. I'm sorry, not August is the uh,
You can take that again. I can edit this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll say it's not coming until later in 2027. So I just meant to say that today is August, which is when we started the reveal, but it's coming in late 2027. So, we want to be sure not to show it too early.
And what's the message Ford is sending to consumers about EVs and its commitment to them? Because here in the US, it's been a bit of a seesaw, I suppose, with a lot of people stuck in the middle or going down.
Yeah, we are absolutely in the game and we're coming at scale. So, well, as we said, we learned a lot in Gen 1 and we're applying that to this universal electric vehicle platform. And we are looking to deliver this product at scale and we are in the EV market in scale.
So when will pre-orders open? What can you tell us?
So pre-orders are going to open closer to launch. Right now, we have a hand raiser campaign, so you can raise your hand and get included in all of the marketing. As soon as we launch it, we'll open pre-orders, and as I mentioned, expect deliveries later in 2027.
Well, a lot of people are going to be excited about this. It's the Ford Fathom coming next year, is what we're being told. Mark Dipko, thank you so much for spending time with us.
My pleasure.
Thank you for watching or listening. Don't forget to subscribe. And for more, you can find us at Techstination.com.
The Haven 10,000 lantern is a smartly designed, beautiful solar light that you will love indoors or out. It is waterproof with up to 1,200 lumens of brightness. That's a lot of light. And the base becomes a flashlight at the push of a button. The power comes from a built-in lithium-ion battery recharged by the sun. The solar panel is built in, or USB-C. The battery can even recharge your phone. Did we mention how durable it is? How it folds down and can run for up to 120 hours on a charge? But the real power of the Haven Lantern comes from the people behind it and their mission to provide this quality lighting to those in the world who need it most, including in disaster emergencies. Your purchase helps to fund those efforts, and if you use the code Techstination20, you'll get it at a 20% discount. That's Techstination20 at havenlantern.com. Create your haven.